On the season finale of USF Basketball, Run with the Bulls,
she splashed that one down!
We send off seniors Laura Ferreira and Kit Loxa, two remarkable student athletes who have helped establish USF women's basketball as one of the premier programs in college basketball today. And follow Coach Jose Fernandez and the team as they travel to Connecticut for the American Athletic Conference Tournament. Head coach Brian Gregory's Bulls have excelled this season, shattering expectations and personal records. Stay tuned to get to know more about
Alex Yetna, I'm from Paris, France. David Collins, I'm a shooting guard and sophomore.
My name is LaQuincy Rito, redshirt junior. I'm a point guard.
all this and more on Run with the Bulls.
Teams that are going to make more noise in the American than folks might have thought. Year two for Brian Gregory. The improvement has been electric.
Bulls on three. 1, 2, 3. Whoa.
USF Basketball Run with the Bulls is brought to you by Wendy's, USF Health, Tampa General Hospital, the Florida Lottery, Florida Blue, Coca-Cola, Yingling, and by Center State Bank. USF Basketball, Run with the Bulls. At long last, the time has come. The careers of student athletes are precious in their brevity. Only a handful of years filled to the brim with hard work and sacrifice. A few short years to make their mark and prepare themselves for the rest of their lives. They do it because they aspire to greatness. They do it for their communities, their coaches, their locker room, and their families. But eventually the time will come to say goodbye. Kit Loxa and Laura Ferreira missed most of their final season due to injuries. But their time in Tampa has defined a lasting legacy for the women's basketball program. Their leadership and world-class talent has led the Bulls to program records and some of the winningest seasons in Coach Jose Fernandez's career. And senior night began in surprise fashion, with the crowd roaring as Ferreira marched out to the court during the starting lineup, just hours after revealing that her illness is in fact a heart condition. UConn, the enduring rival of the Bulls, displayed the highest degree of sportsmanship and respect, allowing her to score the first points of the game and her final points as a Bull, ending her career with over 1,000 points.
World Cup and represented her country and USF at the highest level of competitive basketball. Loxa will graduate with her bachelor's degree in psychology. Ladies and gentlemen, Kitty Loxa.
And the Bulls sent their seniors off with a stunner of a game. Jose Fernandez and the Bulls did it again, becoming the second ever team in AAC history to lead UConn at halftime, after doing so first in 2016. Despite the hardships they've faced this season, the Bulls never quit, and they've grown through the adversity. But there were more games to play as the Bulls moved on to represent their university once again in the AAC tournament.
I love the sport. I love the emotions I get. We do work our butts off. We do. But when we're done with basketball, we're friends. We're teammates. We enjoy each other's company, and I love it about this team. I do.
I just want to say, it's not the place that you go to that can bring you happiness. It's the people around and the environment, and we have that here.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, dang! Oh!
Returning to the Mohegan Sun Arena for the American Athletic Conference tournament is nothing new to the Bulls, but playing on Friday is. The Bulls are coming off an exciting home matchup with UConn and look to take that momentum into their first round matchup with the Green Wave of Tulane.
1, 2, 3, Bulls! South Florida is one of my favorite teams because they have athletes that go hard to the boards. Whether they're on offense or defense, they crash. And they also have players that make the energy plays.
South Florida has been to the final of this tournament every year since 2015, so they certainly know what it takes to go deep in this event. There's a nice-looking jumper by Pinzon.
Pinzon has had back-to-back buckets for South Florida, and South Florida is a really close-knit team. I was talking to their SID earlier, and she said because most of them are from overseas, their families are far away, and so that makes them even closer as a team, and you can tell by the way that they play on the floor. Their chemistry is so good together.
Often can't connect. South Florida can score to end the quarter. And in transition, they do. Pahajic with another bucket. Pahajic knocks down the three-pointer. She is feeling it. 8 points now for Pahajic. Good defense. Denied by Henshaw. She gets the block. It's been a back-and-forth affair. Tulane hanging right with South Florida. And now ties the score heading into halftime. South Florida certainly is used to advancing deep into this tournament. As I've mentioned a couple of times, they've made the championship every year since 2015. Got the trip, but maintained possession. Three is buried by Pahajic. Pinzon looking to dish to Henshaw. That is Pinzon's 7th assist of the game. Her career high is 8. Very poised team. They don't show a lot of emotion, but Henshaw, the exception to that after this finish.
Liza Pinzon neared a triple-double, while Enna Pahajic and Tamara Henshaw also put together standout performances to help USF punch its ticket to the conference quarterfinals against Houston. But the work doesn't stop after the final buzzer. Film sessions and practice help prepare the Bulls for the second round.
They just continue to amaze me every day, because a lot of these kids, we didn't have a lot of expectations for them. I think they needed a year to play in our system. And, they were probably going to play some limited roles, and play 8 to 12 minutes. And now we're asking these young ladies to play 32 to 40 minutes. It's a credit to the kids we have in our program and how we've recruited and how we've developed and the character and all the great things that happen in that locker room. But I have an unbelievable staff as well, that have continued to teach, that have stayed positive, that have gotten our position players better, and these guys have just kept believing and kept fighting.
Houston and South Florida are playing in this quarterfinal game to make the last four in this tournament. South Florida has never failed to make the semifinals of this tournament. So that streak is on the line. They've been to the championship every year since 2015. What a block by Shepta.
One thing we can continue to pay attention to for South Florida is the patience that they have on the offensive end. They don't take shots that are crazy. They take shots that they want. Sydney Harvey, great cut for the backdoor pass by Pinzan.
Yeah, beautiful assist. That's what I was going to say, Blair. Pinzan spots up for three. Good. Harvey off to the races. The Cougars pursuing, and Harvey is not denied. Season Raider knocks down the three. So Houston hangs on and leads by one at the half. Houston maintaining a 1-point advantage here at the half. South Florida will immediately try to overtake Houston coming out of the dressing room for the third quarter. Pinzan. Spot up three, and Pahajic with 5 straight points for the Bulls.
And this is what South Florida does best. They play as a team. They set each other up so that they have set shots in transition out of set plays in the half court.
Shot clock at 3, down to 2, make it 1. Pahajic banks it in.
South Florida is controlling this game right now.
Pahajic off the assist from Raider.
And that's because South Florida continues to cut. Their movement is never stopping. They continue to make Houston defend and follow them in their motion offense.
USF was down at the half, but the Bulls stormed out of the locker room and dominated the third quarter, outscoring Houston 21-6 for a 54-40 lead heading into the final stretch. With resounding performances from Sydney Harvey, Enna Pahajic, and Eliza Pinzan, the Bulls ran away with the victory, winning the contest 72-55.
You know, we lost Laura Ferreira right after that first conference game at Temple. You know, and if you look at the, 5 games that we lost, you know, you lose to SMU by 2, Cincy by 1, Houston by 1, you know, the Memphis game. We lost about 5 games by a total of 8 points, you know, something like that. But it was things that we needed to go through that to get to where we are now. You know, a lot of guys haven't been put in those positions and making decisions, valuing every possession, making decisions in the fourth quarter, knowing how to win in the fourth quarter. And I think we're doing that now.
Bulls on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sydney and Enna, you guys have media.
David Collins, I'm a shooting guard and sophomore.
David Collins.
I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, and basketball was like always a part of my life. My mom played basketball and my sister played basketball, so I mean, I always looked up to them and knew I wanted to be a basketball player.
Collins is in the air and finishes inside.
Year one was it was a bit of a hard lesson, you know, getting used to, you know, a new thing, adjusting to the lifestyle and everything. And I think it was a day-by-day thing, and I think it's just gonna make us better for this year, you know, knowing that what you can do and what you can't do.
You know, David is one of those players that just kept getting better and better and better as the season went on. He took advantage of the opportunity that was presented to him. He was ready for it because of his work ethic and his commitment to playing hard on every single possession. Even as a freshman, when things got out of sorts and maybe he wasn't prepared for some of the responsibility he had to shoulder, his work ethic and how hard he played compensated for that. His challenge in his sophomore year is to take a big step. That's a big jump for a sophomore. That's a big jump for a sophomore, but I think he's ready for that challenge.
David Collins on the attack.
I would say the culture would be just being a good person, doing what you're supposed to do, and, you know, coming out and being a leader, you know, high energy, playing hard, and, you know, doing the things how you're supposed to do them. I mean, you got to be, you know, a person that listens, someone that is able to follow directions, you know, doing what coach do, because they expect a lot from us, you know. You got to show character on the court, but also off the court, you know.
My name is LaQuincy Rito, redshirt junior. I'm a point guard.
When you think of LaQuincy, the first word that comes to mind is toughness. He's physically tough, he's mentally tough. He's got a great pride about him when he plays. And I think the one thing he's starting to learn is how to play that point guard position with that pride, with that toughness, filtering to all the other players, because that's critical at that spot. To play a point guard spot in our program, for me, is not an easy job. It's like the quarterback in football when the head coach was a quarterback in college. You know, those guys are sometimes difficult to play for because they're so demanding. But Quincy and I are really growing in our relationship, and I think he's one of those guys that really wants every day to be coached, to show the things he needs to get better at, because he is driven to become a great player.
We're really competitive, we play hard, you know, just relentless effort. Go Bulls.
My name is Alex Yetna. I'm from Paris, France. Play power forward, and I'm sophomore.
Rifled in, and Yetna scores.
I'm from Paris, France, so I grew up in a Paris suburb, and I used to play soccer a lot, and then I got hurt, and then when I was 15, I decided to change sport, and decided to focus on basketball, and it worked pretty well for me, I would say. It was tough, because obviously I played soccer a long time, and I was liking basketball too. But yeah, I feel just watching the game, people I like to watch playing, just make me love the game.
You know, Alexis had a tough year last year not being able to play, and to his credit, he didn't wallow in self-pity. He was motivated to kind of maybe move into this year with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's our best rebounder. Plays with a relentless approach to the glass, quality scorer around the basket. So his energy, I think, is going to make a lot of positive plays for us this year.
First, obviously the coaches here, and the people in athletics, everybody was welcoming. They was always trying to see how I was doing, and how trying to help me out since the beginning. And obviously just when I took my visit, the campus was so beautiful. It was this March, April, so obviously birds was singing and all this stuff. So it was just a pretty environment to see.
Getting a wide open, big two-handed thunder dunk from the freshman from Paris, France.
It's pretty fun being I feel we got a good team. We're all friends together. We're all hanging out together. All have the same hobbies and stuff. So it's pretty fun. I couldn't ask for anything else than this team provides for me.